Um, Actually, this next box is a good question because I don't know the answer to this. Um, this is from Kay, and the question is, how useful are Instant Pots or electric pressure cookers for canning? Is there any potential for them, or is water bath canning what I should keep doing? I guess I would add to that, like, is there a difference between a pressure canner and a pressure cooker?
There is a difference between an Instant Pot and a pressure cooker.
Okay.
The difference being size and the ability to reach a proper internal temperature. We do not recommend canning in the Instant Pot because there's not been the same scientific research done with those as has been with the pressure canners. Now, some people get confused because the Presto or the Mirror or the All-American box will say pressure canner cooker. Well, you can use a pressure canner to cook if you're cooking a large amount of something that you want to pressure can. But the Instant Pot and the regular pressure cookers that are smaller in size might hold 2-pint jars and maybe 4 half-pint jars. We have no evidence that they are going to reach that 240 degrees inside. And when the Instapots first came out, I bought some of them. I bought one to read the guide to see what they were saying. And lots of times where they're talking about canning in those, they are actually canning jams and jellies,
Oh,
maybe pickles, and they're products that would be very easy to do in a water bath
water bath. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or an atmospheric steam canner.
Yeah.
So we definitely do not recommend using the Instant Pot for canning. And the manufacturers of those have not shared their research, if they have done any, with the people that do our research.
And I guess with the difference between a pressure cooker and a pressure canner is that the pressure canner has a gauge that tells you exactly what the internal pressure is. Is that
Not
not
necessarily.
necessarily? Okay.
There are two types of pressure canners. There is the Dow gauge, which has the gauge based on pounds. And I think somebody had a question on this someplace, but if you have a gauge with pounds, and let's talk about canning low acid foods. In a Dow gauge canner, you would process it at 11 pounds pressure below 1,000 feet. As you go up in altitude, you would increase according to your altitude.
Yes.
And the Dow gauge, it's actually 11 pounds up to 2,000. Then 2,000 to 4,000 is 12, 4,000 to 6, 13, above 6,000, 14 pounds pressure. In a weighted gauge canner, you have a weight. There are a couple types, but they're all 5, 10, 15. The one that used to be most common had 3 little holes in with the numbers 5, 10, and 15 on. Well, if you're above 1,000 feet, you would use 10 pounds pressure for your low acid foods. Or for your low acid foods. Then if you were living up in the mountains, you had to go to 15. There was no in between. Now, those two might best be described as Presto versus Mirror.
Right.
But there is also a manufacturer called All American. And Some of them have only a dial, some of them have only a gauge, but now All American is making with both. But they will say, go by the weight and use the gauge to see when you're getting close to the temperature or when you've got down to zero and can take the pressure regulator off.
I see.
But yeah, did that answer your question about?
Yeah, I think, well, I mean, her main thing was instant pot, and you said no.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, no,
yeah.
that's and that whole world, I've never pressure canned anything. I've never just anything like that. I just don't want to get into the equipment of that. I remember my grandmother having some enormous contraption with dials and
Well,
you know,
I will say it is much easier today because today's pressure canners, for one thing, are lighter in weight, except the All American,
right,
and they have safety features built in that you can't open them if there is pressure in them. And if you learn the steps, like driving the air out, it's called venting them, before you apply the pressure gauge and bring the pressure up gradually, they're not that hard to use.
right. Hey folks, guess what? I've started a newsletter at maritimegardening.substack.com. I'll be putting out one article a week. That's 52 articles a year. The articles expand on ideas that I mention on my videos and podcasts, and every article has a read aloud option, so you can just listen to me read it if you're busy doing something else. You can subscribe for $30 a year or try it for $5 a month and see what you think. It's a great way to help support everything I'm doing here. But hey, there's also free content too, so if you just want to read the free stuff, that's fine too. As always, get out there, get at it, have fun in your garden. Thanks for watching.